Lecture 26, which is the last lecture of this semester. So we're going to learn 3 formulas. So let me put here. So we're going to learn the distance formula, the middle point formula, and the circle equation. So the first one, find the distance between these 2 points. So we have this formula, distance square equals to, let's see what given 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2. So we have those 2 points. The distance between those 2 points is, x2 minus x1, or x1 minus x2, doesn't matter because we're going to square it. So basically the difference between the x values of those 2 points plus y2 minus y1, or y1 minus y2 squared. So we see this actually comes from Pythagorean theorem. Let's say we have 2 points in the space, right? We can put our coordinates anywhere. So let's say we put over here. So let's call this point x1, y1. Let's call this point x2, y2. Then we can form a triangle, a right triangle specifically. So we want to find distance from those 2 points. Let's call this D. Then we form a right triangle. We draw this line parallel to x-axis. And we draw this line parallel to y-axis. So we have formed this triangle. So you see distance square, hypotenuse square of this triangle equals to, let's see this one. Do you see this one is y2 minus y1? Because this point here has x value x2, but the y value y1. So from this point to this point, this altitude or this height is y2 minus y1. And bottom here, this point is x2, so it's x2 minus x1, right? So from this point to this point. So we see the triangle has 2 legs, and this leg, horizontal leg, the length is x2 minus x1. The vertical length is y2 minus y1. So by Pythagorean theorem, we have this leg square plus this leg square equals to the hypotenuse square. That's what we have here. But we don't want to find d square only. We want to find a d. Okay, so we square root both sides. So this is the distance formula. Distance equals to square root of the difference in x value square plus the difference in y value square. So in our case, let's call 1, 4 the first point. So 1 is x1, 4 is y1, and the 5, 7 is the second point. 5 is x2, 7 is y2. So the distance, we just use the formula, is the square root of 5 minus 1 square plus 7 minus 4 square. Then we square root. 5 minus 1, that's 4, so 4 square, plus 7 minus 4, that's 3 square. 4 square, 16. 3 square, 9. 16 plus 9, 25. Square root of 25 is 5. So the distance between those 2 points, 1, 4, and 5, 7, is 5. Now let's see 2. Find the middle point of those 2. So middle point formula is this. The average value of x as x coordinate, and the middle point of a y value is y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So it's the average value of those 2 x values and of those 2 y values. So in our case, let's call this x1, let's call this y1, call this x2, call this y2. So x1 plus x2 is 3 plus -2 divided by 2. Then y1 -4 plus 6 divided by 2. Well, 3 plus -2 is 3 minus 2, which is 1. So we're at half. -4 plus 6 is +2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So the middle point of those 2 points, 3, -4, -2, 6 is half, 1. So this is middle point formula. So average of the x value, average of the y value. And this is the distance formula. Right now, let's learn the third formula, which is circle equation. Let's see 3. So for circle equation, circle, we have a center and a radius. So the standard equation is this. It's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to radius squared. All right, let's see a picture. So this basically built up upon the distance formula. Remember, distance formula will have d squared equals to x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So let's see, we have a circle. Let's see, the coordinates is somewhere. Just for convenience, I draw in the first quadrant. A circle can be in any quadrant. So we have a center, and we call the x value h, the y value k. And of course, you want to call this x1, y1, that's fine. x2, y2, that's fine. But by convention, we call h, k. Then x, y, so here we have x and y. And x, y is any point on the circle. Could be this point, could be this point, could be any point on the circle. Okay, now if we connect the center and this point on the circle, that's called radius. That's called radius. So also we can form a right triangle, right? We form a right triangle. And then we see, in this case, we see r squared equals to, well, this is x, y. And this point here, the x value is h. No, not h, x. And the y value is k. So this leg is y minus k. And this here, let's pull this down. So the length of these 2 points is x minus h. By Pythagorean theorem again, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. So this is a picture of the equation for the circle. So in our case, our center at 0, 0 with radius 5. So that means h, k is 0, 0. So that means x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals to the radius 5, 5 squared. Right. X minus 0 is just x. So get x squared plus y minus 0 is y squared equals to 5 squared, 25. So where is this circle? So let's draw with blue color. If we want to draw a picture of this circle, that's the center, the origin, then the radius is 5. So the circle is centered at the origin with radius 5. Okay. Let's see 4. We want to write the circle equation with center 3 and -4. So h equals 3, k equals -4. Radius is 7. So x minus h, which is 3 squared, plus y minus -4, y minus -4 become y plus 4. Equals to radius 7, 7 squared, which is 49. let's say 5. 5, we're given this circle equation. We want to identify the center and the radius. So the center, remember that's x minus h, y minus k. So minus -1, right? So h equals to -1. So that's the center. And the y, k equals to 2. So center at -1, comma 2. And radius r is the square root of 9, which is 3. So 9 is 3 squared. Okay, that's all. That's lecture notes of 26.